She was called Britain's most evil nurse, accused of murdering 7 newborns, convicted and sentenced to life in prison. But now, new evidence suggests she may have never committed these crimes at all. This is the story of Lucy Letby, a woman at the center of one of the most horrifying criminal cases in UK history. But was she truly guilty? Today, we dive deep into the shocking case review, the flaws in the original trial, and why medical experts believe Lucy Letby might have been wrongfully convicted. Lucy Letby is someone who born on United Kingdom, January 4th, 1990, the only child of a finance manager and an accounts clerk. She was educated at Aylstone School and Hereford Sixth Form College. A friend who knew her since secondary school told the BBC she had a difficult birth herself, and she was very grateful for being alive to the nurses who would have helped save her life. Letby received her education in nursing at the University of Chester, where she also worked as a student nurse during her 3 years of training. Letby initially failed her final year student placement, but passed a retrieval placement after requesting a new assessor. In 2011, Nicola Lightfoot, her assessor, reported she was lacking in clinical and medication knowledge and needed more experience in picking up on nonverbal signs of anxiety/distress from parents. In a 2024 inquiry, Lightfoot said she had found Letby to be cold. Letby began working as a registered nurse at the neonatal unit of the Countess of Chester Hospital in 2012. In a 2013 staff profile, she said that she was responsible for caring for a wide range of babies requiring various levels of support, and that she enjoyed seeing them progress and supporting their families. Letby also took part in a campaign to raise funds for a new neonatal unit at the hospital. Letby told others that she found non-intensive care work boring. Letby had 2 training placements at Liverpool Women's Hospital in late 2012 and early 2015, which came under investigation after her conviction. The BBC has reported that potentially life-threatening incidents occurred on almost a third of Letby's 33 shifts while on these placements. Potentially life-threatening was not defined, and no comparison data was provided in their reporting. In November 2012, a baby Letby was looking after collapsed, and water was discovered in his breathing tube. In July 2013, Letby and a more senior nurse set the infusion rate for a newborn's morphine at 10 times the correct amount, leading to a suspension from administering controlled drugs by Yvonne Griffiths, Unit Ward Deputy Ward Manager. Letby, who was upset by the decision, was required to undergo extra training. Her suspension was lifted a week later, after she complained to Arian Powell, the unit manager, who had been on leave during the incident. Letby told colleagues the suspension was an over-escalation, which Griffiths disputed. In 2015, she qualified to work with infants in intensive care, and in April 2016, she administered antibiotics to an infant that was not prescribed them, which she misclassified as a minor error. She was reassigned by the ward manager from night shifts to day shifts. When authorities looked deeper, they claimed to have found a pattern. Babies assigned to Letby were suspiciously dying at an unusually high rate. The prosecution argued that she had deliberately injected air into their bloodstreams, overfed them with milk, and even poisoned some with insulin. Her trial lasted for 10 months, making it one of the longest murder trials in British history. And in August 2023, the verdict came: she is guilty. She was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. But something didn't sit right. There is a hole on the case. Many people believe that the case against Letby was built on circumstantial evidence. There was no CCTV footage of her committing a crime, no clear forensic proof. Instead, the conviction relied on patterns in hospital records, medical charts, and her handwritten notes. But here's the problem: patterns don't always prove intent. Medical experts have started to speak out, arguing that the deaths could have been caused by natural complications, infections, or even poor hospital management.
In summary, ladies and gentlemen, we did not find any murders. In all cases, death or injury were due to natural causes or just bad medical care.
What we have shown is, as Professor Lee has outlined to you, that there were plausible reasons, very, very plausible reasons for these babies' deaths. There was a combination of babies being in the wrong place, delivered in the wrong place, delayed diagnosis, and inappropriate or absent treatment.
In fact, internal hospital documents show that some of the equipment failures and medication errors were already known issues in the neonatal unit. But instead of investigating system failures, all suspicion fell on one person, Lucy Letby. One of the most shocking pieces of evidence was a note found in Letby's home. It contained words scribbled in panic. "I am evil. I did this." But what if this note wasn't an admission of guilt, but a desperate cry from someone under immense pressure? Letby had been removed from patient care. Her colleagues were turning against her. She was facing accusations she didn't understand. Could those words have been the thoughts of someone breaking down rather than a confession? Some experts argue that the note was taken out of context and used against her unfairly. Even before the trial was over, the media had already declared Letby guilty. Headlines called her the baby killer nurse. True crime podcasts, YouTube channels, and social media posts fueled the narrative that she was a monster. But the media can be powerful and sometimes dangerously misleading. If the public already believes someone is guilty, history has shown us time and time again that public pressure can lead to wrongful convictions. In February 2025, the Criminal Cases Review Commission confirmed that they are reviewing Letby's case. If they find enough flaws in the original trial, her conviction could be overturned. At the very least, she might be granted an appeal. But if Lucy Letby didn't commit these crimes, then we have an even darker question to ask. What really happened to these babies? As of now, Lucy Letby remains behind bars under a whole life order. More investigations are underway, and the Thirlwall Inquiry seeks to bring clarity to the hospital's failures. For the families, justice may have been served, but their pain will never truly go away. The truth behind Lucy Letby's case remains uncertain. Is she a murderer or a victim of one of the biggest legal failures in modern history? The world is watching, and the truth may soon be revealed. Well, in the end, a lot of question remains. The truth may be buried in the past, but one thing is certain. The search for answers is far from over.